Hey, it's another week, another recipe, and this week's recipe comes from the era of absolute desperation, the good old 1930s. We're making an egg gravy, and well, just keep watching. It is a doozy. Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Courtney Morris, and I cook history's forgotten recipes out of random cookbooks I find and sometimes websites. And today it is going to be kind of a random one. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. I hope you stay till the end, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you're coming back for more, my sincere thank you, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. Okay, so if you follow this channel for any length of time, you'll notice that I like original source recipes, and I like recipes that challenge the ability to make something out of almost absolutely nothing, or to be able to use odd items that you might be having to get because no one else buys them in the store. This channel started out as a hobby, and cooking like this might actually end up becoming a lifestyle with the way things are going. Just saying. I'm learning a lot here. Now I've noticed that all these old recipes fall into three categories. We've got the really good, the absolutely insanely awful, and the borderline I'm desperate for something to eat kind of recipes. And that's what today's category falls in. Today is a 1930s Depression era egg gravy, which two words don't go together in my head, but we're gonna try it. This recipe is from a 1930s cookbook called The Progressive Meatless, and vegetarianism has been around for quite a long time, although it only gained traction really well probably in the later half of the 21st century, but it was still present then. Whether you are vegetarian by choice or by necessity because you can't get to meat or access it or whatnot, it's good to have alternatives. So this is probably one of the easiest recipes I have found. There are 4 ingredients. Make that 5 ingredients, and it sounds terrible. So this recipe calls for 2 eggs, a half cup of milk, a walnut-sized piece of butter, and salt and pepper. And then you're supposed to serve it over hot potatoes. So I'm almost thinking it's like, why wouldn't you just make a soft-boiled egg and just let it run over the potato? But maybe some people don't like that, but if you don't like egg like that, you're not gonna like this. It's gonna taste like salt and pepper egg, I think. Let's get to the stove and we will see what we can do. Okay, so you are sat in my spice cabinet right now. I'm trying to do some different angles here because it's really cramped when I have a tripod over here. So one day I'm gonna get a hot plate and we'll do everything at the bar. Everything. For now, this is what we're gonna work on, and I hope you don't fall down. All right, so first things first, we need to beat 2 eggs, which I'm gonna do right now, and then we need to add milk. Now it did just say to beat the eggs, and I'm assuming because this is going to be a gravy or sauce, if you will, you don't want any of the whites to really be present, so I think you probably want it emulsified decently. You can probably use an emulsion blender, but I'm just going to use a whisk for historical accuracy, and I don't want to get it out and clean it. Alright, so it looks like everything's blended up pretty well. Think like omelet style. And when you pick it up, it just drips off. It doesn't like glop off like snot. Honestly, I really just think this is gonna taste like a scrambled egg with butter over a over a potato. Okay, then I need to add my walnut-sized butter. Now it doesn't say to melt it, but I can't imagine any other way to put it in there unless it just melts slowly, because you're constantly stirring it so you don't make scrambled eggs. Common sense says to get it liquefied but not hot enough to scramble it in the bowl, but then the other part of me is just like, well, it didn't tell me to, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna melt it and temper it and then put it into the mixture before I stick it on the heat. Okay, so if you can see, I melted the butter, but it's not terribly hot, which means it's not going to scramble the eggs upon impact. But to temper, you just take a little bit of your egg mixture and stick it in here and mix it around so it cools it off enough to where you can add it here and you're not gonna end up with something disgusting. It's just slightly warm now, so I'm just gonna add that in. I'm kind of glad I did it that way because I don't think it would make sense to do it any other way, really. All right, so now it says a pinch of salt and a dash of pepper. And I learned that a pinch is actually like a 1/4 teaspoon. I don't know who made that one up, but I'm gonna roll with it. It looks like I'm gonna make scrambled eggs. Pour into a cold stew pan and stir constantly over a fire until the right consistency. I swear, the 1930s, out of all the eras that I have cooked in so far, have the least amount of instruction. From before 1930s and after 1930s, you still have a little bit lack of instruction and have to think about things, but I swear The Depression, everybody was so gosh darn depressed they forgot to write everything down. Obviously, because this is eggs, not gonna put it on hot. You never ever, unless you are frying an egg, make it any hotter than medium low. So we'll stick this in. So it says stir constantly, and I'm assuming you want this to get to almost like a cheese sauce kind of consistency. Pourable but thick. So I said in the beginning that this sounds like an easy recipe, and I'm going to eat my words a little bit and say that it's easy in the sense of there's only a few ingredients. Not so easy when you're trying not to make something that isn't gravy. This is nerve-wracking. Like, I don't like this. This might taste really good, but I am not liking the anxiety level that I am at right now. Okay, it's actually starting to thicken up. This better taste good. You know, the one thing that they didn't add in this ingredient list was a pinch of desperation, because I'm still, why? Why put yourself through the stress? Why not figure something else out? Oh, that's real, okay, that's quite thick. Holy moly, okay. That looks awful. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna make my potato and then we will see how this goes. All right, it is showtime. Let me tell you, first of all, this looks awful. Almost like a bad hotel continental breakfast, or like something you'd find at, like, you know, the cliche school lunch lady, you know, schlop. This smells like an egg, but like magnified. It is eggy, and it's not hitting me in the right spots. The instructions said to serve it over a hot potato, so I made the tiniest baked potato I could find. And I do have a little bit of cut up green onions. I'm gonna try that afterwards and see if that helps it, but oh man. This looks like something my babies have barfed up in the past. Well, okay. Well, I have so many descriptive words right now that would probably just not be. Oh my God. I take it back. I have no words. I have no kind words for this. This is bad. Ugh. And it's not so much the flavor of the egg, because I don't mind that, but it is poofy and it's foamy and it's, it's, I don't mean to be gross, but it's like you ate eggs and then you threw them up and then you re-ate them. It's just that, it's bad. Problems with texture in food. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Flavor-wise, it could use some help. Texture-wise, chuck it. I don't even know if I want to try this with this. For the sake of experimenting, I'm going to. I want to be a good sport. Oh, that's worse. That's worse. If you saw my Spam fritter recipe, that one I had to spit out. That was not good, and it did not do good things to me. This one, I literally almost puked in the sink, like dry heaves. It's just, the onion made it worse. So, no on the onion. All right, well, I take it back. This one falls into the category of just plain gosh darn awful, and you would have to be desperate to do it. Why not take those eggs and make a runny egg out of them? Or if you're trying to save egg, at least make scrambles on the side of a baked potato. I mean, there's so many things else that you could do that's vegetarian and gluten-free other than this. So yeah, don't try this at home unless you hate your family. Ugh, I'm kind of sweating. The anxiety, and then the dry heaving, and then yeah. I'm in a good spot right now. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. If you haven't already, hit the little subscribe button. I upload every Monday with a new historical recipe, the good, the bad, and the seemingly desperate. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit that little bell notification. It'll tell you every time I upload a video. As always, I would love a comment. I would love to talk with you guys. Send me a recipe if you have one. I'd love to try it out, whether it is good or not so awesome, or something that you've just been wondering about but are too scared to try. I will try it for you. All right. I will see you next week with hopefully a better recipe, and I might just leave the 1930s for a little bit because I have not had a good luck with that era. If you have anything good from that era, send it by so I have a little hope regained. All right, I will see you Monday with a new video. Have a great week. Bye.